This is our second video. Geometry, perception, and the invisible impact of cubic spaces.
In painting, Francis Bacon challenged the rigidity of conventional spaces by distorting shapes and perspectives, evoking movement, instability, and emotional depth.
This approach not only redefined art, but also had a direct impact on the way the brain interprets images. Unconventional forms stimulate regions related to memory, emotion, and abstraction.
This phenomenon was investigated by physicist and visual artist Nelson Theas, who, working with Bacon in London, explored the idea of quantum entanglement as a model for understanding the relationship between observer and image.
His research suggests that when we look at an image, we don't just see it, we enter into a relationship with it, altering our state of mind.
This leads us to a fundamental question: if the human mind is not simply a linear processor of information, but a dynamic system entangled with its environment. How do geometric spaces influence our perception? We can pose the following. Images affect consciousness when they resonate with underlying quantum structures.
Visual perception is not only a physical process, but an interaction between the observer and the image.
Cubic spaces not only surround us, they condition us.
If electromagnetic waves and light behave as both particles and waves, depending on the observer, we can extrapolate that images and environments can also exist in a dual state.
They are visual representations, but also stimuli that alter our perception.
And what does this mean in architecture?
From an evolutionary perspective, human beings do not form in rectilinear environments.
For millions of years, we've lived in nature, surrounded by fractal, curved, and dynamic forms. Only in the last few millennia have we forced our existence into right-angled and very artificially rigid structures.
Modern architecture wasn't designed for our well-being. It was designed for industrial efficiency and spatial control. And let's go back even further in history. We discover that cubic architecture emerged in the age of metals, when civilizations began to build more orderly structures as a symbol of control and power.
As Georges D.D. Huberman said, every image is an ideological construction.
And cubic spaces are no exception.
The problem is that most people are unaware of the impact this has on their minds and well-being.
We live in structures that alter our perception of the world without us realizing it.
We have normalized what is actually an artificial imposition against our biology and evolution.
If we take into account studies in environmental neuroscience, we can affirm that cubic spaces are not neutral.
Since the Industrial Revolution, we've assumed that rectilinear spaces are rational and efficient. But we now know that they're profoundly disconnected from the way humans have evolved to inhabit the world.
But now that you know, the decision is yours. Oh, you can see beyond. You can remain in the comfort of right angles, continuing to call rational what was never natural, ignoring how it affects your perception and your well-being. You can choose the curved red pill and wake up to the reality that these spaces are an imposition, that the perception you believe to be yours has been programmed, and challenge what you've been taught as normal. Because once you see it, you can't go back.
The geometry of the world is not what we were told. Choose carefully. Choose Curvism. Instead, Cubism, and drink some mineral water.